fellow people of the United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroons, good citizens of Ambazonia, welcome to another episode of the No Kunny Talk Show. This is an advocacy platform where we advocate for policy and practices that are going to effectuate the independence of Ambazonia efficiently within the shortest period possible time. So you are all welcome to this show. It is about 3 a.m. in Hong Kong time, and I think probably around 9 p.m. in Ambazonia and in Europe. I don't know what time is it in the United States and all over the world, but it's quite early in the morning, and I believe this presentation is very important, and I have to just get it out there. I cannot wait. I'll be leaving my house today very early for work, so I'll have to just rush through it and make sure that I present to you my best, as I have always taken upon myself the mantle to stand and be the vanguard for the Ambazonian people during this revolution and to serve the revolution in this capacity as an activist. So I am going to be talking today to you about the John Mbah Akuroh's presentation, and I want to start by thanking him for coming out there, and I also want Ambazonia to appreciate the process and the pressure that we are putting the leaders under in order to generate the debate and make sure that you have the information that you need. Without our work putting the pressure out, you will not be hearing all this information. And I believe by our people being properly informed, we as a people can better organize, governize, mobilize ourselves to do what it takes in order to liberate our land. So you are all highly welcome. It's very, very early. I'll be leaving my house today very early because I'm starting a new project at work. It will require me to leave the house very early. So I decided to just do this show because I think it's very important and I have to do it timely. So I'll try to rush through it within the shortest period of possible time. I'm not going to play music today to welcome everybody, but I'm going to start by playing our national anthem to remind everybody of who we are, why we are doing the things we are doing. So I salute all man for house, and then I salute you, Biko Khan. I see Tafong is there as well, and Joshua is there, Christian Gu is there, and everybody's there. So I just want to tell and I say, well, this is a very, very important No Kunny Talk show today. It centers about very critical issue about our revolution, talking about the dialogue. We have all listened to the video. I recommend everybody to listen to the presentation of Comrade John Mbah Akuroh. It's very important. We have worked so hard to pressurize them, and they have yielded, and he has come out with this presentation about what happened in Switzerland. So I'm going to give you a very powerful presentation as well, so that you know without any corny what is really going on. It's very important. It's very, very important that our people are not being deceived, that we are not being lied to, that we do not have unnecessary or untangible hope, and people should not sit and they're expecting something, just thinking that people are working very hard for them when nobody is working hard for them, in particularly when our people are dying. It's very important that those of us who are vanguard should make sure that the people's hope are based on reality. They are based on real work, real expectation that can be met. That is our job. That is our duty. So everybody, you are welcome. I can see Jay Taku is there. even Susie Spark is also there. I think that this issue concerns all Ambazonians, no matter who you are, no matter your stripes, no matter your group, your affiliation. It is so important because it will determine the life of everybody, the future of everybody in that country, and the peace those people can enjoy, whether they live together or they divide. You have to really know the truth. Only the truth shall set you free, and only the truth shall help us in this stage. So everybody's welcome. I can see one of my icon, Mr. Shea Kavi. Mr. Shea Kavi is like a mentor to me. I think I admire him. He's a truth teller. He's a brave person, and I can see the CIC, our revolutionary leader, Dr. Ayabacho Lucas, in the house. So this is very, very important presentation. As you know our style, we do not wait to have 1,000 viewers to start to do our show, but we believe in leaving behind a digital footprint so that people can watch and listen to what we present out there. We are going to present everything to you truthfully, honestly, so that you can rely on whatever you hear on this platform. So there have been a lot of information that John Mbah Akuroh have put out there, some of which are not correct, some of which are inaccurate. I'm going to put that as well. And most of the presentation is accurate. I'm going to put that as well so that you know exactly what is going on. You will not be taken for a ride. So let us sing our national anthem, and we are going to do this fast. I'm going to work. It's 3 a.m. in Hong Kong time. It's about 9 p.m. in Amber time. So you're all welcome to the No Kunny Talk zone, the No Kunny Talk show. So join me for our national anthem, and we will go straight to the presentation. I will really not have time to over-explain. I'm still a little bit sleepy, so I'll be very, very brief and very direct so that you just know exactly what I want to say. I could do it tomorrow, I could do it after tomorrow, but I believe that with that particular video of John Mbah Akuroh out there, you need to get the No Kunny Talk take on it. So let's sing our anthem.
Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us our freedom. Allegiance to the hero who born his land with Diablo. From glory to glory we rise never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live with plenty meat in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of his nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live with plenty meat in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of his nation.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I can see my brother and a wonderful comrade, Mr. Lucas Asu, is also online. Thank you all for making it an interactive presentation. Nevertheless, we understand that most people will watch after, so we are not going to take any time, but I want to just take this moment to welcome everybody in the house, those who are my followers, those who are friends, those who are sympathizers with our cause, and the general Ambazonian public. And I've lifted the restriction on comments, so everybody is free to comment. Please keep it civil and be very respectful of my platform. If you are very disrespectful, you may find yourself being banned, and do not be vocal. We try to create an atmosphere where every Ambazonian can participate, and people who are uncivil, who are not respectful in their comments, will irritate a lot of regular people, and those are the people that we think have the priority in this platform. So please do not be disrespectful, be civil, do not be vocal, otherwise you'll be blocked from commenting on my page or even participating in this platform. This is a civil liberty platform. It's an advocacy platform. We believe in keeping an environment conducive for people to have proper debate on issues and substance, and do not put things that are unsubstantiated outside there just to pollute the comment section as well. Otherwise you'll be blocked immediately. We don't count on having the highest number of viewers, but we believe in having the critical thinker, the most influential Ambazonia, people capable of moving our struggle forward. It takes 10% or even 5% in certain cases to governize and rule a people, and that is what we believe in this revolution. We believe in influence. We don't just believe in popularism. So thank you everybody for participating. Thank you for being in the house. And I'll be talking, as you know very well, my language is Pidgin English, Pidgin Standard English. So expect me to speak the lingua of the Ambazonian street, the language spoken by the people of Ambazonia. I believe in standardizing the Pidgin English, not just Pidgin English as a standard language and the first language of Ambazonia. We need to get our community and our people engaged in discussion. We cannot isolate, we cannot practice the colonial mentality of instituting a foreign language as a language for our people. At least we have the English language that we have benefited from, and our heritage from English language is the Pidgin English. It is not the British English, it's not the American English. It's neither the Cambridge and it's neither the Oxford English. We speak Pidgin English in Ambazonia, and we hope our intellect, our linguistic people will be capable enough to standardize Pidgin English and Romanize it so that we can use it as a formal language in debate in our parliament and in the address of our people. They deserve to hear our leaders speak to them in a language they can understand. So I am your activist, and I will talk for what talk we will not go to hear very well. So today, a very, very important presentation I have to present to you about the speech with Mbah Akuroh. He done talk him. He explained for we which way it happened for Switzerland and which way it mean for our struggle. They talk for our language. Any foreigners who want to understand will have to look for translation, or can contact me behind and I will explain to them what we are saying here in public. But I believe the British people and the American people can understand Pidgin English. They can pick out one and few words there and they will know what I'm talking about. So for those who have been assimilated and who think that Pidgin English is primitive, they think the joke is on them. We are very proud of our heritage. We are proud of our knowledge. We are proud of our capacity to think and reason complex issues, and we try to empower our people not to be subdued or feel inferior because of their cultural heritage, because of their language and their local knowledge and experiences in life. So once more, you are welcome. Today I'm going to analyze it. I will go straight to that. And one thing why do I insist that you know the truth? Why do I insist to make sure that you have the truth as it is without any Kunny? Is because sometimes we may lose sight to areas that we may be cautious about. When you take lies, even little bit lies, or you don't know the truth, or you don't know when something is incorrect or the information is not complete, you may lose sight of critical information. You may also lose sight of critical places where you should be very careful about. It's very important that we know the truth. And I want to thank Mbah Akuroh for coming out there and putting out the truth, giving out substantiated version of what we have been saying all along from the beginning of this process. And I hope at the end of this presentation, you are going to be very enriched about why we insist on truth, why we insist on credibility and competence. You believe that now more than ever before. I haven't listened to the video of Mbah Akuroh, which I recommend everybody to listen to. So I will start with I see Dr. Nicolas Santos in the house as well. I welcome you, my brother, and Tefru and everybody in the house. So I want to start by saying that nobody, no frontline movement that I know, have outrightly rejected the Swiss talk. I mean, on face value. It is not responsible. Our position is that we advocate that our leaders do not participate in that Swiss-led mediation, and we believe Switzerland is not a fair and partial judge to be the referee between Ambazonia and the Republic of Cameroon. We believe it's going to be not in our favor to do that. The Switzerland and the French people have a stake in Ambazonia. They are basically a partner with the Republic of Cameroon in what they are doing in governance and in exploitation of our resources, and both acting as a safe haven for Mr. Paul Biya to pump in billions of US dollars in their economy, in direct investment. And we believe Paul Biya is as good as a Switzerland citizen. So that is why we think that this Swiss process is not in our favor. It was engineered by Barry Colbert firm, and I'm going to still make that, I will still insist on that, and I'm going to present to you the reason why. And some of the cracks in that Mbah Akuroh's presentation, I want you to also know. And I believe, and I challenge him to challenge me on the facts that I present here to you. Is the volume not okay? Somebody's complaining about the volume. Let me see. I'll put it at maximum. We do understand that Facebook sometimes suppresses our viewership by not sending notification, as well as also making echoes and stuff like that. We are used to. We just have to adopt. As I used to say, the revolution will not be televised. So let me begin. I have recorded some few excerpts from his audio, from his presentation, that I'm going to play back to you so that you can understand. So I will start with the first audio from Mbah Akuroh's presentation. And I want you to listen, and listen very, very carefully. Thank you, my brother. Listen and listen very carefully. I will present to you the issues without any Kunny, so that you are informed about what is going on. So first, I want to say that Ayabacho Lucas, Seseko Ayoktabi, these leaders have not, the leaders who have not gone to the Swiss talks, and all the Ambazonian main activists have rejected using that Swiss talk as it is, as a means of negotiation with the Republic of Cameroon. We have all refused to participate in it. We have refused and asked those leaders who are in it to withdraw their signatures in that thing, because it compromises the credibility of our revolution for independence. And negotiation is not a way out. It's not an easy way out. It's not a substitute of self-determination. We have to fight. We have to go to negotiation as well, but not as a means, as a path, as an easy way out of the pain we all go through because of the war and our fight for our independence. So I will play the first excerpt for the video of the audio I recorded from that presentation, and I'll go ahead to explain to you. This is Mbah Akuroh.
That there are some issues in this liberation struggle that will never be issues that should be addressed along the lines of group obedience.
Okay. So basically, I want you to understand that, like he said, this is not about I support Advocacy, I support the interim government, or I am an ambassador to the IG and I am an aide to the Advocacy, or I believe in the credibility of Ayabacho Lucas and Seseko Ayoktabi, or I don't believe in Sako, I don't believe in, I think Mbah Akuroh don't have this on the ground, I believe in creation of a restoration council and all that. No, this has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with all those things. Of course, I do hold those positions, but it has nothing to do with my advocacy vis-a-vis the Swiss talk. Just like Mbah Akuroh said, it has nothing to do about it. It's just us trying to be rational, to look at things the way they are, and advise our people and our leader, and advocate for those policies, because we believe that that is the best thing for Ambazonia and the best thing for our chances to have our independence. So you can hear Mbah Akuroh. He himself, he said it. He said it there. Let me play it again. This is not about partisanship. It's not about I support this one, I don't support that one. It's not about it at all.
Take note. Matters relating to the international negotiation of a peace deal for the Southern Cameroons cannot be treated as an issue of group affiliation. If that is the perspective you have been looking at this, please, I recommend and pray that you desist from doing so. Because this is an area which must bring all Southern Cameroonians together. Because that is the level at which we are talking about the future of all the 8 million people of the Southern Cameroons.
It's very important that you know this point, and there is a reason why I want to play Mbah Akuroh's audio, so that you get the rationale of my position. So you have to understand, this is where, when it comes to negotiation, it is not a place of partisan. Yeah, no be place where you talk saying that because I support this one, I support A, I support B. No. Now the future, for not be the only 8 million Ambazonians who are alive today, but the millions and millions of unborn Pekin them where they will see born of Ambazonia. It be very important more than another one. Now, why that way when it comes for negotiation about our struggle, we no need to consider now whether I support na A, I support na B, now who be the most credible person, now who not be the most credible person. No, that one not be the priority. Because everybody is prone to mistake. Everybody. So this one not supposed to be now because of my side or not be my side. Honestly speaking, it's not supposed to be that way. So, hold on, I'll be going to and forth. I just crashed notes on few notes for you guys so that I can be straight. So we cannot approach, and we should never approach diplomacy and negotiation as a group affair. So anything where it comes concerning negotiation or dialogue or whatever, including diplomacy, we know fit and we cannot do it like a group affair. That means the AGC, the IG, Maurice, the Republic of Ambazonia, every group cannot approach diplomacy, even as a group, as a matter of a group affair. Because when you are approaching it, be it diplomacy, be it negotiation, you are no longer representing that group. You may be representing the approach. You may be presenting the philosophy of that group. But you are now representing the entire interest and the entire people of Ambazonia. So whatever you do, you are doing it on our behalf. You are doing it for us. And we must pay attention to what you are doing. And you must be responsible and accountable to all Ambazonia. Not only to the people of your group. We should have that one very, very clear. So the bias of this Swiss deal by Mbah Akuroh, the bias that we have won about this Swiss deal, it's not something that was won up. It's not something that started today. Hold on, my phone is. The warning about the Switzerland is not something that started today or with this deal. Mbah Akuroh himself said that he had made a video in February. I will go back far as 2018. I had already told you people that we have had information of both the Switzerland. I don't have time to even go and search those videos of both the Switzerland government being involved. Friendly countries to France. Remember when we first heard that the diplomatic corps had a meeting and they sent a delegation to go and meet the Ministry of Defense. You had the Swiss ambassador who was there, the French ambassador who was there, and which other ambassador? The British ambassador were there. You already had these three players who were already being distinguishing themselves within the context of the diplomatic corps in La Republic, and they were having discussion, and we had people who are working with these people who are talking to us. They are not living in isolation. So we knew right from last year the warning that the French government will be using the Switzerland people. We knew that already from last year. It's not like we just came out of a blue and we are warning people about Switzerland. No. So Mbah Akuroh have said it. I will play this audio still so that you guys would hear and you understand. He said that since from March before the SC, they call the group the Fontaine-Nibas group, SCLC was formed. That warning was already out there about the Switzerland. It's not about Sako. It's not about support for Ayaba or Seseko. No. It's something that is based on real intelligence.
First clarification. That
hear this timeline.
It's not because someone will say it is an initiative cast or brought in by the Sako-led IG that some people are opposing it. This is untrue. And I want to prove that. On the 1st of February...
I wouldn't play this particular one all, but Mbah Akuroh is also laying the timeline so that people have it clear. I don't even want to even play the audios of the video of audio of Sako, because I've said that he have very little credibility. He looks at the camera and he says complete lies without blinking. So much that I don't even want to go to his audio to even play to you. But the fact I want to present to you is that we have had this warning about Switzerland long before even the SCLC thing came up. We already have been talking about Switzerland, the possibility of the French government using Switzerland. John Mbah Akuroh has have quoted and gave his video. I am going to take my time and look for the video I made last year talking about that incident of the Swiss being involved. That happened when they went to meet the president of the Minister of Defense in La Republic of Cameroon. Following, even in my interview with the Honorable in Nigeria, he also talked about that. He spoke to the Switzerland embassy. They have conversation with diplomatic pressure that was coming about to break the chains of the incommunicado of Seseko Ayoktabi. During those processes, you could hear what those various diplomatic officials in Yaoundé were talking about, and the pressure that they were mounting against Mr. Pobia. You could know about who was being fair to us, who was standing for the truth, and who was not standing for the truth. So one of those information that John Mbah Akuroh gave was about the path. I want everyone to listen for all these things, and because my conclusion will be very, very crucial, and it will be reliance on all this information where John Mbah Akuroh gave. Remember, John Mbah Akuroh talks say for America, for February, they meet with this organization called Path the Way Foundation. I never knew the exact name, but I've heard about the information, and then I didn't get those details. But it's very good that he has put names, he has substantiated what we have been saying all along, so that people can understand what is going on. They met with this organization. You will see what is really wrong with our struggle. They met with this organization called Path the Way Path the Way Foundation. The SCYL, the conveners of the SCYL, the Fontaine Nibas Group, that means Bo Herbert, Kumeta Elvis, John Mbah Akuroh, and Samuel Sako, they met with this organization, Path the Way Foundation, in America, as early back as February, and they gave a mandate to this foundation to go and meet La Republic du Cameroon and negotiate on our behalf. Imagine, they met with this organization. The organization met them when they gathered in America to ask them that they want to mediate. An organization called Path the Way Foundation met with these leaders in America. They meet up them, talk, say they want to make peace, they want to bring negotiation between La Republic du Cameroon and Ambazonia. And all these leaders then sign, then give mandates to this group. Listen, and then you hear what is wrong, what is really wrong with our people, and the approach we are using. Because if you don't know these things, tomorrow the same thing will happen again. Listen.
The very next day, the 30th of March 2019, the member organizations of the newly created SCLC met physically with officials of a US-based organization known as Pave the Way Foundation. And we signed out officially, in the presence of Professor Carlson Anyangwe, we all agreed and signed officially the next day to give them our mandate, asking them to go to Yaoundé and also seek to get a mandate from La Republic du Cameroon so they can mediate between...
Okay, listen to this. All these groups, these leaders in the SYL, they met with this Path the Way Foundation, granting them mandate to go and initiate dialogue with La Republic du Cameroon. They grant mandate already to this organization. They grant mandate. Can you imagine a group of leaders, they meet in America. For the first time, they are approached by an NGO. They sign on a paper granting mandate to that organization to go and meet La Republic du Cameroon without any background check. Without any background check at all. These leaders, they met with an organization, Path the Way Foundation, and grants mandates without consulting with Seseko Ayoktabi, who is in jail, without consulting with Ayabacho Lucas. They signed and gave mandate without consulting. Maybe they had phone calls with their members, I have no idea, but without any serious consultation, without even talking to the experts I want you people, I want me una think together with me. Una already work a fine. Make una already see the kind things the world they talk not be say we talk now because of partisanship like Mbah Akuroh is talk. We talk reasonably, we talk based on way to way they before we were all man the same for the eye. And I will play back Mbah Akuroh, his opinion about this type of practices. Make una understand when we talk about the importance for competency, the importance of credible leadership for lead and take positions about the future of the more than million of Ambazonians that are yet to be born. So you have a group of leaders who have been approached by an organization without consulting any expert at all. Without consulting any expert. Without consulting even with those leaders who are in jail. Without consulting even with Dr. Ayabacho Lucas, who have the biggest military on the ground. Who have the expert advice of OMPO. OMPO is an NGO with the best organizations that do not only have a track record, but have successfully helped other territories or countries to break away, some of whom had no chances at all, and help these countries to have their independence. The Advocacy have these people at their disposal. These people, group of leaders, they meet without any consultation at all with these other leaders, without any expert advice. They put pen to paper to this organization called the Path the Way Foundation, granting a mandate already. The first day when I meet a person, even girl, you go chat girl for Ambazonia. You meet a fine girl, what for even now the Oyibo girl the way they like palava cassava so. You meet up, then you talk for them. They go even tell you, say, we'll change phone number except today. Tomorrow, we'll meet up again. Maybe we'll take lunch together. We'll know each other even small. So these leaders, they meet leaders an organization, as credible as that organization may be. They need to do their background check. They need to ask what is the motivation? Who sent this organization? Is there a possibility that our enemy can go behind and send these people to you? They didn't even do that. They did not even consult with the other leaders. Remember the beginning of this statement, in his opening statement. This is not something that Capo Daniel is saying. Mbah Akuroh himself said that for matters of diplomacy, we cannot approach diplomacy and negotiation as a group affair. It has to be an Ambazonian affair with a broad-based consultation. If we talk say Pobia supposed to do an all-inclusive dialogue, be inclusive, then we ourselves are those leaders making decisions about the future of our revolution with proper consultation. Are they doing that? Are they living up to that standard? If not, then their behavior is proving that they are not competent, even according to the standard of Mbah Akuroh. Because if they are competent, they are going to approach this Path the Way Foundation with a broad-based consultation with the leaders who are in jail, and Ayabacho Lucas, who is a phone call away from them. They are going to consult them. Even after that consultation, they will not rush to sign that paper, because as Mbah Akuroh will later say about the HD, for us to have our paper signed to give a mandate, we need the advice of experts. These things we are saying is not fight. I know that some people have their block brain, their ambazamzams. When you are criticizing, you are raising the stake, you are raising the expectation. They will say that you are criticizing, you are attacking A or B or D. This is not an attack with Mbah Akuroh. I'm just holding him to his standard. They prove that they are not competent enough to make those critical decisions by going ahead and signing and giving mandate to Path the Way Foundation. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that, even according to Mbah Akuroh's standard. And worst of it is that they were giving this mandate to this organization. And Sako was there. Sako did not inform them that he had written a letter to the Swiss ambassador asking for the Switzerland government to mediate. And I'll tell you why Sako did not tell them. I'll tell you why Sako did not tell them there. so that you can understand for yourself that this is not about hatred for Sako. It could have been John, it could have been Peter. I'll tell you why. I will hold the same standard. If it was Ebenezer Akwanga, if it was Ayabacho who was there, and he have information that he supposed to disclose to them, and he did not disclose to them, he withheld it back, I will hold him to the same standard. So they were there, signing and given mandate to Path the Way Foundation to go and meet La Republic of Cameroon. And there is somebody sitting with them who have already contacted the Switzerland government, according to them, to do the same thing, to meet La Republic of Cameroon, and he did not say anything to them. I will still tell you that it is not exactly what happened. That is not exactly what happened, but I will tell you, because this is the No Cody Talk zone. This show, you have to know the truth, because I believe that is what is going to save us all. So listen to what happened. So they were there. The natural expectation was that if una shouldn't una talk, so una one same person me go talk for La Republic. Some person the way be that already send some person. No be that person go talk for they say, hey my brother, una wait. Before one sign the paper so. Ma inform one as first say this so I be that already sign send later for Switzerland the ambassador. Me meet up Mr. Pobia. But that was still not it. I'll still tell una actually which way happened. But first, listen to Mbah Akuroh. I said that
Sako was present. Kwanga was there. All of us sat there. Nobody, no one mentioned that they had contacted the Swiss government to urge them to play the same mediation role. This is strange.
Yeah, he says strange.
Nobody mentioned this. Although from records and from a letter I have in my possession, it is now clear that the Sako-led IG has written to the Swiss ambassador in Yaoundé, and from information I get at the behest of Ellie Smith, to request that the Swiss government should facilitate to try to come in and play the role of mediator between the people of the Southern Cameroons and La Republic of Cameroon. To request that the Swiss government should facilitate to try to come in and play the role of mediator between the people of the Southern Cameroons and La Republic of Cameroon. I heard Comrade Sako talk, and he pointed out that it was after Southern Cameroonians had contacted the Swiss government that the Swiss government reached out to him, and then he wrote officially. That is not true. And gave a mandate to Pave the Way Foundation, and the
so nothing this way talk. Then she don't for the right they give mandate for Path the Way Foundation. Sako she don't for the Sako no tell them. According to Mbah Akuroh, he get the letter where thanks to Sako as well as Ellie Smith, where it shows say Sako write a document with some of the people them for inside a cabinet. I believe it was the guy in the how they call this Ayims. Ayims was involved. Remember Ayims? Ayims is a guy who, together with Sako, they concoct a prank to deceive Ambazonia people that they have been invited to the United Nations. You people have to understand all these things, not because we want to make Sako to look bad, but because you should not be blindsided about some dangers that are very, very damaging to the credibility and our whole prospect to have independence. So they are saying that at that time they were signing this document. As Mbah Akuroh is saying, he later heard from Ellie Smith, and he also get information from Sako. I have interviewed Ellie Smith, and Ellie Smith have refused that he didn't give those information to Mbah Akuroh, and I believe him. One thing about Ellie Smith is we all know who he is. He talks to everybody, and he talks to La Republic of Cameroon as well. There is a video that we are very outrageous about because he was talking to an Ambazonian general who wants to come to the dialogue in La Republic of Cameroon. And he was not only facilitating the will of that general, but he was pressurizing that general to say that if you don't come, oh, now you will die. So we'll be angry legitimately with Ellie Smith for those statements to those general. But we need to blame me say they talk for all man. At least we know who we be. Even some person they work for La Republic, at least we know say we deal with the person it work with La Republic. You need to lie about it. The problem now when people they lie or they hide who them be. Elis Smith already make a position, it work with Cardinal Tumi. And we believe say Cardinal Tumi in position not change. You know they different now from the phone of Mancon, Fonangwafo. There is no difference between Fonangwafo's position and the position of Cardinal Tumi. That was my information I was sending to them. You guys have screwed up. Now there is no difference between you and Fonangwafo. His Eminence have to know that. There is no difference between His Eminence position and Fonangwafo, who is a CPDM baron. That is disgraceful. So, what Mbah Akuroh is saying that they sat there and they were given a mandate. Shockingly, Sako did not inform them that he has written a letter to the Swiss ambassador. This is the truth. Elis Smith never convinced Sako. Elis Smith never convinced Sako. Remember, Mbah Akuroh have walked back his statement. The first time he talked about this communication, he said that Elis Smith practically read a letter for Sako to write down. That is not possible. Sako is smarter than that. At least, even if he's not credible, he's smarter than that. That Elis Smith will be dictating to him what to write to the Switzerland embassy. That was wrong. That is lies. That did not happen. You have to separate the truth for you to actually be able to make right decisions, Ambazonia people. So understand that did not happen. The fact that Elis Smith dictate to Sako what to write, that never happened. And I'll prove to you. And he says that Sako said that Cameroonians people, they contacted the Swiss ambassador before he wrote that letter. That can be true because we know for sure that the prime minister, who is his village man, contacted him through somebody in Italy. Not only that, because a lot of people already have that intelligence because the guy who is in Switzerland, Italy have leaked out that information from some people who have leaked out those information to us. But we know from the diplomatic corps, from people who are working in a 2D, that the HD went and met Sako and have a deal with him months and months and months before he arrived at that decision. The week that Sako came out and banned some of our leaders, we had information that this was coming from instruction from those Barry Cobet people. You have seen the video I've shared. The Facebook have basically actually removed that video from my Facebook page. I don't know if other people have it. I'll go and search it. There is this smart guy who lives in Switzerland who have told us about the Barry Cobet, the French people who are involved. They were the people involved in closing down the marketing board in Ambazonia. This company, they know us and they are after our cocoa. They send their agents and they met Sako. These are facts. I've told you people many things before and it took a lot of time for people to come out. Even what Mbah Akuroh is saying today, those are things we were saying right from the beginning of February this year. It has taken him 4 months, but we appreciate the fact that he has the courage to come out and put those things out there. And this is because of the pressure we are applying on them and having these cracks amongst themselves so that Ambazonia people can be informed. We know that Sako did not write that letter to the Switzerland government because of Elis Smith. It can be two things. He might have deceived Mbah Akuroh. Mbah Akuroh may be seeing Elis Smith as an easy way out to transfer blame. That let us blame Elis Smith because first of all, Elis Smith is not popular. People are angry with him because we saw him facilitating the dialogue of La Republic of Cameroon. So they can try to make him as a victim. That is morally wrong. But let's just give, for benefit of the doubt, we say that Mbah Akuroh gets it completely wrong. He gets it completely wrong. Why do you think that it is wrong? Because it will not be possible for Elis Smith. It doesn't make sense that Elis Smith will hold on, let me get this note. That Elis Smith will be telling Sako to write to the Swiss embassy. It doesn't make sense. Forget about Elis Smith, whether you believe him or not, whether he's a criminal or not, whether he's a black leg or not. But it doesn't make sense. Let me give you the reason why it doesn't make sense. Hold on. Why does this thing doesn't make sense? My brother, them. The money time this year, I don't forget things. My small note I make, I don't forget them. Why it does not make sense? Remember, it is always it may not be convenient to know the truth, but it is very important. It's very important to know the truth. Ellie Smith did not instruct Sako to write to the Swiss embassy. It was not Ellie Smith. Because if you start believing lies, you will lose sight of critical intelligence or critical warnings that you're supposed to pay attention to. You can be driveled and be misled by the enemy if you are not, or if you do not know the truth. So it's very important that you know the truth. Don't take the easy way out because it is convenient. Just go along with everything that Mbah Akuroh said just because it's convenient. No. Why do you think that Ellie Smith will not inform the rest of the SCYL? Because they said that they were meeting with Ellie Smith that day before. If Ellie Smith he was the one who instructed Sako to write that letter to the Swiss embassy, then now Ellie Smith it means that Ellie Smith wanted that Swiss thing to go ahead, right? Because why will you say that Ellie Smith will ask Sako to write a letter to the Swiss ambassador if Ellie Smith do not support that process? It doesn't make sense. And when you exclude all the other possibilities, the obvious is true. Ellie Smith could not possibly tell Sako to write to the Swiss ambassador if he does not support that process. Ellie Smith, if he supported that process, when they were there together, Mbah Akuroh said they met Ellie Smith personally. He could tell them that you people should go to Switzerland because I have instructed Sako to write a letter to Switzerland. Remember that Sako wrote the letter to Switzerland not this year. It was last year he wrote that letter. It was last year he wrote that letter to Switzerland, not this year. So why did Ellie Smith not say it? Remember, Ellie Smith came to America as a representative of the Cardinal Tumis AGC. The Cardinal Tumis AGC is promoting a dialogue in Cameroon by Cameroonians, both the Cameroon across the Mongo and the Cameroon in Ambazonia. That is the position of Ellie Smith. So why would somebody who is traveling on the budget of the of Cardinal Tumi be promoting a platform of dialogue that is not what he wants? It does not make sense. So that is wrong. Mbah Akuroh got it wrong there. Ellie Smith did not dictate the terms for Sako to write that letter. He might have been deceived because there is an attempt by the Barry Kobe to hide themselves from this process. They don't want us to know that they are involved. And Mbah Akuroh might have been misled. I don't want to accuse him or anything because I appreciate the fact that he gave these informations and substantiated what we have been saying. So I don't want to say that he is trying to cover up for the Barry Kobe, those companies who are actually the Leviathans. These are the really vipers, the vampires of the French people. These are the people who contacted Sako. These are the people who initiated this process. It was the Barry Kobe CEO who went to Yaoundé and introduced the Swiss government to Mr. Paul Biya. It is there in the newspaper. We have friends who are working with the newspaper who interviewed this man. We have people who spoke with them in the hotels. It is not like we are strangers to that country. It's not like we are strangers to that country. We have people who are working in those embassies. We have friends who are working in those embassies who go to the same bars with these people. We have people who interview them. Not only that, after the visit of Mr. Paul Biya and the Swiss ambassador and the Barry Kobe CEO who wants to hide his face, they are doing everything. You know, the devil, the greatest success of the devil is that he made us to believe that he does not exist. Barry Kobe is attempting to hide its face and his hidden hands. I'm not saying that we should never talk to our enemies or we should never discuss with Barry Kobe. Of course, we can get into negotiation with our enemies. What more about Barry Kobe or the French government? We will negotiate with everybody. But we will not allow lies. We will not allow ourselves to be deceived, because once you are deceived, you have been disarmed. You will not even be respected by your enemy because they will know that you are all full of wrong. All what you believe in is wrong. You don't even deserve to have independence, because the Americans and all the intelligence services, they are aware of the truth. And if they see that our leaders are not even aware of what is going on, and they are behaving like they are being deceived by the enemy, they will just say, okay, these people are not smart enough to even, for the start, they are not even smart enough. So I'm submitting to the Ambazonia people that the information that John Mbah Akuroh gave, that Ellie Smith was behind that letter from Samuel Sako, is wrong. Not because of the word of Ellie Smith, because I've asked him, I've called him to interview him, not because of that alone, but it does not make sense. He didn't give me this rationale anyway, but it does not make sense because he represents the AGC. He is against the Swiss process. Not only from my word, not only from the Ellie Smith, but from John Mbah Akuroh's explanation, he said that Ellie Smith is against that process. How can you say that Ellie Smith is angry that the Swiss process should go ahead and want to spoil it? And then at the same time, you are still saying you want us to believe that Ellie Smith is the one who asked Sako. He even dictated Sako to write the letter. So let the CEO of the Barry Kubet and all those people understand that we know what is happening. And for Ambazonia people to understand that these people are dangerous more than the Republic of Cameroon. They can try to assassinate me for telling you the truth. They can try to assassinate some of us who are there being the vanguard to make sure that you actually know who is the devil. But it is for the benefit of our people that they understand the truth and they insist and hold it strong. Hold the truth. That is what will save you. If all of you do not embrace the truth, and every time we bring it to you, the devil come and steal it away from you, then they can even come out and kill us because they know that you people will just follow the lies. You are giving them that if you take out these people, these are the people who are the problem, because they are the ones who are insisting on the truth. They are the ones who are bringing us to the truth. The Ambazonia people must embrace the truth and things that have been established before them substantiatedly, so much that it should be considered as facts. So I'm submitting to you that Barry Kubet was behind Sako's contacting of the Switzerland ambassador. If that was not so, he could have easily told the leaders there. That's why John Mbah Akuroh said it was strange. Because if Sako had already contacted the Switzerland government, why did he not inform them when they were now granting a mandate to Pave the Way Foundation? He could have told them. The only reason somebody will lie or who withhold such a crucial and relevant information from other leaders is because he has corpses in his closet. He has been dealing with the devil for a long time. And he has been compromised by the people who want Switzerland to be there. Sako have been compromised. So let me move on. Let me move on to other things. But we should not be blindsided by the role played by the Barry Kubet company. So I'll move on to the next issue, which talks about that the Ebenezer Akwanga, the use of Ebenezer Akwanga. I don't know whether Ebenezer Akwanga was presented by this issue by Sako or the Barry Kubet, if he have any contact with him. That I don't know. We must tell the people the things we know. But what we know is that Sako used Ebenezer Akwanga to blindfold the leaders who were within that cycle of the SCYC or the Fontaine-Niba coalition. He used Ebenezer Akwanga to present the Swiss initiative as something coming from him, because he know that he does not have credibility to do so, or because what he is about to present to them will be rejected because it is not good for Ambazonia. So he used somebody who have some credibility in him to present this thing to those leaders. He used Ebenezer Akwanga to present the Swiss talks as something that is coming from the APLM and not from him. So I want you to listen to this excerpt to establish what I'm talking about.
The month of April, I was contacted by Comrade Akwanga, Ebenezer, and he contacted others, and he informed us that there was a capacity building opportunity in Switzerland. I never had the details of this whole thing at that time. And so he wanted us to delegate representatives or also be ready to go by ourselves to Geneva to take part in this training opportunity. I never heard about mediation or somebody wanting to be mediator at that time. And so what am I trying to drive at here? To drive at the fact that right up to this point, I never ever knew that it was Comrade Sako's IG that was involved. I rather knew the Swiss were now coming in through Comrade Akwanga. And contrary to what Comrade Sako says, we never held a vote at the SCLC to determine whether we should be part of this process or not.
So you hear, Ebenezer Akwanga presented the Swiss talk as an initiative coming from him. That is the impression he gave, and that is the way they wanted to transmit it to those leaders. And remember, Sako, I don't even want to play the audio of Sako because anybody still listening to what that man says, after the series of lies, outright lies, treasonous lies, lies that deserve a leader to go to jail, anybody listening to that man, you have some bearings that are out of your brain. So I'll not even bother to play his audio. But he lied in his audio that they had a vote about that issue. Mbah Akuroh explaining. But understand what happened. They used Ebenezer Akwanga to present this issue to those other leaders as something that was coming from Ebenezer Akwanga, like an opportunity for what? Capacity building. They never told them that it was already pre-talks. La Republic of Cameroon. Remember, I told you that when Paul Biya on the 1st of January, his New Year speech, says that he had willing partners to negotiate. He was talking about Sako because we had those information from those people in La Republic of Cameroon. I will not give you the particular place there so that you don't know, but we have those information from there. Even forget that it is a source that we don't want to leak. The commentators who are working, technical workers of La Republic of Cameroon's CPDM, as well as the presidency, they were on Canal Plus and Equinox, stating clearly that they had a video conference between La Republic of Cameroon presidency and Sako Ekome. We don't know whether it was Sako or it was Ayim or whoever, but they had already had direct communication with Sako. This is not coming from me. This is something that is out there. I will look for the video and I'll still play it for you. La Republic of Cameroon, their technical staffs said that they had direct contact already. They had direct contact already. It's not like we have brain problems or forgetful problems, but these are the facts. So the only reason why they didn't tell these guys, these are our other frontline leaders, was because it was a bad thing and it was not something working for Ambazonia. The only reason why they went to the extent to hide and use Ebenezer Akwanga is because they are trying to package something that is rotten inside to give Ambazonia. So you guys should understand, with all the lies, the Sarkozy put on suit, look at the camera, speak perfect English to deceive all of you again. And he lied, I have vote. He even lied about small things like this. He lies. He lies about small things like that. So Ellie Smith, they said that Sako was lying, that it was because of sabotage, because of internet troll that they did not go and attend the first garden in Switzerland. He also lied about things like that. Basic small thing you did lie. Small things you did lie. Mbah Akuroh said that actually what happened was that they have a faulty intelligence from Sako. Sako called them and tell them that there was an intelligence that they are going to lay ambush if they go to Switzerland. And that was not true. I believe that the reason why Sako made that lies was because they now knew that the other leaders, including Mbah Akuroh, had insisted that our leader in jail, Mr. Yerima, should be there. And they now had Yerima coming in there to come and see what was happening. These new people were coming. And Sako came out and lied to them that La Republic of Cameroon is going to ambush people there. That the people should not go there. He lied to them. Because they wanted to hide certain things that was going on there. He lied to them. And they are blaming Ellie Smith. Of course, Ellie Smith is an easy way out for Mbah Akuroh too. You can just say that Ellie Smith is the one who called them and said that La Republic of Cameroon will ambush them there. Because Ellie Smith wants to spoil the Swiss process. Why would Ellie Smith want to spoil the Swiss process, and then the same Ellie Smith is trying to tell Sako to write to the Swiss ambassador? Two of them cannot be true. One is lie. So nobody cannot say that I'm just criticizing Mbah Akuroh. I'm being very reasonable. He cannot be right on both instances. Definitely, I am sure that Ellie Smith did not give that intelligence to Sako. I believe that Sako believed that he would be exposed. There were new people that he knows are more credible and will get information from there. Scoop had a representative there, but I don't know whether it was only Scoop, but I believe that it was a coming of Yerima in particular. I believe that it was coming of Yerima in particular that made him to try to stop the process at all. So that is it. And also, remember the timeline. You remember what Mbah Akuroh says? That Ellie Smith wanted to spoil the Swiss process because Ellie Smith was not traveling. Look at Facebook is trying to blur my connection again. He said Ellie Smith could not be able to travel to Switzerland. So because of that, Ellie Smith tried to sabotage the whole process. That is just ridiculous. I don't believe that Ellie Smith was unable to travel. They have sidelined Ellie Smith. That is why he wants to sabotage the process. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that. That is not a reason that is applaudable. We don't believe that. So that is it. We go to the next thing, which is about the HD. When they went there, they were going there. They told them initially that it was capacity building. By the time they went to Switzerland, those leaders participated through Zoom. The Switzerland firm now asks for them. Now here, as you are here, give us mandate. Give us mandate. They were going for capacity building. They went there and they were asked for I didn't record this one. I cannot find the record. Oh, sorry.
The month of April.
Listen to this one.
I had to go. That early morning, I received a call from Comrade Cometa informing me that he had decided to cancel the visit, and these circumstances need to be highlighted so that our people know where the trouble is coming from. When you don't do, they have the feeling that this spoliation that you're talking about came from the ranks of the leadership.
I'll play this other one. Sorry, I think I played the wrong audio. Listen.
In that Zoom conference, the Swiss officials already wanted us to, at the end of it, issue a mandate for them, grant them a mandate. And that is when some confusion came in. Some of us on the call did not know that this was about giving Switzerland a mandate. That is when we were informed that they had had a mandate from the Republic of Cameroon and they needed us to give them our own mandate. Some of us knew that we were to go for capacity building, not to give a mandate. And that is how the statement that was supposed to be issued ran into a ditch.
So the reason why they had difficulties now was because they have gone there, they thought it was capacity building. They thought it was capacity building. And I believe even Bo Herbert did not know. I believe, because if you follow his statement, you now understand their character. You need to, I want you people to go with this thing through so that you understand the competency of these leaders and how credible they are in terms of what they are telling you and what they are doing. Bo Herbert, who probably did not even know these things, because he was also talking, initially he was talking about capacity building. And he goes there, he starts defending it like it is heaven and die for him now. So they go there for capacity building and they are presented a mandate. That is where they object. They are saying that a mandate, how can we be giving you guys mandate? We are coming here for capacity building, we are building, you are asking us for mandate. Remember, the same people, when Pave the Way Foundation contact them to give mandate, they signed and gave mandate to Pave the Way Foundation immediately, the same day, without consultation. The same people now are saying that there was a problem in Switzerland because they needed to give them mandate surplus. How competent are they? How competent are they? How rational are they? How are they rational? You are refusing to give mandate in Switzerland, but you gave mandate already to another company in America without even doing background check, without even consulting with the other leaders. And the same you have already asserted that when it comes to diplomacy, when it comes to negotiation, it should no longer be a partisan issue. There must be broad-based consultation amongst all the leaders, and sometimes even among selected people who are very influential in ground zero who are doing the fighting. You cannot have the leaders or those representing the fighter doing the fighting on the ground, and you are given mandate for negotiation without consulting the stakeholders. You cannot do that according to Mbah Akuroh's own standard. I'm using his own standard because I have already preached these things already, and he's coming to say it now 4 months after. And I'm using his own standard as a base for you to understand that what we have been saying all along is not because of group issue. It's just the right thing to do, and it's the natural expectation of our people if they are actually competent to run a revolution. So the HG was asking for mandate, and they were refusing that. We cannot. How you come here, you deceive us to get us here, and now you are asking for us a mandate. That is when they have the disagreement. They had the disagreement about the mandate at that stage. So the leaders, yeah. So they are in a weak position. You are asking people to make decision about important thing about the whole country. You have not even, the same time you want them to sign document, and they are refusing. But the same people sign document in America. The same people sign document in America. So I'll leave that there. It's very soon I'll be going to work. It's already almost morning here. So yeah. So the Switzerland thing, the Switzerland thing was like that. Even so, when they went there and they were having this so-called capacity building with the Switzerland government, with the HD, it was not actually capacity building. In Mbah Akuroh's word, let me quote his own word before I leave. He said the HD were teaching them on a bias. Their teachings was biased. Their capacity was not building their capacity. It was biased, bringing them down, grooming them as victims to accept a bad fate that was supposed to happen on them, that was inevitable. In other words, that HD people, they not be go take them, have to go begin build their capacity for teach them how to go win our independence. They be trying to go bring them down, so that means they go accept some bad thing will be supposed to happen for we. That means say now for say that independence, we know if we get them for chakara all this in around one. That thing there they be good job. When I wait, when I listen, when I hear what I self.
And raise the red flag because of the kind of teaching that we were already receiving from the Swiss side. One, they were reminding us, oh, there are 21 conflicts around the world right now. And because there are 21 conflicts around the world right now, an opportunity comes where the international community is interested in your matter only once. And if you miss taking that opportunity and they move on to others, you are left on your own and there will never be any chance again. They moved from there. Went on to give great examples of other situations where the people who were in the weaker position, like they said we are, refused to take opportunities when they came. And at the end, they were crushed and they went away with nothing. And so all of those numerous examples are pointing to the fact that we needed to act at once. At that point in time, we didn't have to take any time to think. My dear people, we must note here, no conflict in the world looks like the other. We're going to be doing things that will be right, that will enable us to attain our objective. Or we will just run into haste because we want to seize an opportunity, even if that opportunity could end up being a problem. These are issues I always pointed out we needed to study.
Not here?
What I found out, and this is very important,
not here the mission of the AG.
That kind of teaching was unwelcome. That kind of teaching was unwelcome. My dear brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
In diplomatic parlance, that kind of teaching and other, lectures that were dished out to us during that Zoom conference are generally referred to as grooming the victim to accept an unfortunate fate that will befall it. Grooming the victim.
Grooming the victim to accept an unfortunate fate.
How much we are so disadvantaged, how our position is so bad that we need to really to take the least thing that is thrown at us. No, I reject that. I refuse that. And I think you too should, because it is important for us to note.
When I hear we say they prepared them for. They were preparing them to accept something that was bad for us. They were just preparing them. And we know it was about federation or something even less. We know for sure, because how do we know? When the CEO of Barry Coubet came to Yaoundé, they made it clear. Paul Biya told them it was actually decentralization. They were actually decentralization. The Switzerland and the French government, we know they were even thinking about bringing federation in another way without calling it federation. That means they don't want to accept federation, but they were trying to bring it in a way that does not look like federation. But Paul Biya was clear. Go and look the newspaper publication when the Barry Coubet CEO and the Swiss parliamentary and the Swiss ambassador visited Paul Biya. Go and look at it. It's not something that I'm saying. Today, I'm not giving my position. I'm just telling you what is there on the record for you to be aware, so that you should not act like Ambazamzam. It is there on the record. Paul Biya gave a baseline. It will be decentralization. The Barry Coubet and the Barry Coubet was just insisting for normalcy because they wanted to resume and expand the exploitation of our cocoa. The Switzerland and the French government were insisting on something that looks like autonomy, not really federation, but autonomy. They were supposed to bring us to demand a two-state federation, and then they will bring the middle line to be something like an autonomy type of things that will be acceptable to our people to save face. But Paul Biya said that his baseline is decentralization. That is what he said. He said it online. He said it openly. It's not something that they were saying it in corridors or hiding. Those are things that were said open. And now remember, this is a result of all their incompetence. These leaders, it is a result of all their incompetence. That Sako will play them this game with the Barry Coubet behind them. They will play all of our leaders. Come through Sako. Sako sent a letter. They didn't even know. They were now a part of a game that had already been premeditated, pre-arranged, and they are now looking for these leaders to come in and make it to go forward. They could not come to them directly. They first of all bring Ebenezer Akwanga, who presented it to them in a way that they will accept it. They now take them. They didn't tell them that it was going to give a mandate. They tell them, just come for capacity building. Just come. Just come. And once they are there, they now bring papers, sign a mandate. And they're telling them, if you do not sign here, the war have 21 conflict going, you will not be amongst them again, the international community will not look back at you, and this and that. After all, they have already paid your flight. Ebenezer Akwanga, they have already tell you that to solve this problem, we are going to ask the Republic of Cameroon to give your money, your 30 million, for all the time that they maltreated you in Konengi. These are the things that they have seen in these people. They have studied us very well. They know who is who. That's why they came. They know that Ebenezer Akwanga will be vulnerable in this place. They know that this one will be vulnerable in this place. They isolated all those leaders. Before this one is bringing his idea, they already know that they'll present you this way. Your own problem is just that you wanted to be relevant. Go there and go and be arguing there. Before you realize, our leaders have carried it on their head and they are walking around fighting for the enemy without knowing. So the next thing you understand is the expert advice and the rule of the expert advice in this thing. The rule for the expert advice in these things. So these people were getting into pre-talks, a process. The main reason they were getting into these pre-talks was also to distract the international communities to think that something is ongoing when there was nothing going. To think that there was something that is ongoing when there was nothing going on. Listen, I want to play this audio for you to listen. This is about expert advice.
Number one, the expert strongly, I mean very strongly, advise.
So after they have had this debate, and John Mbah Akuroh, I will applaud him amongst the blind people, at least he being a one-eye man. Amongst the blind people, John Mbah Akuroh was a little bit a one-eye man. That is why this is a God-ordained struggle, because somehow God will always raise somebody up to speak for the people. So I applaud John Mbah Akuroh, even though I will give it to you. This is a no Kunny talk show. I will tell you without Kunny, but I will still give some credit where it is due, so that you guys know it's not bias. It's not me just hating somebody. No, I'm just telling you the way it is, just the way it is. So Mbah Akuroh, they insist that, okay, let us get expert advice. They had asked these HD people to give them time, not because they actually wanted to go and consult, but because when they wanted to sign that document, there was something that was missing there. That was the only thing they could sign it there and give that mandate that very day. So they had the chance to debate, and Mbah Akuroh, they insist that they should bring some experts to come and advise them. They should bring experts to come and advise them, and listen to the expert advice that they receive.
Advise against the participation of leaders at that particular early stage. What was the argument brought forth by the expert? The expert said, one, the Southern Cameroons is being looked upon by the rest of the world as a very disorganized set of
now
people.
listen, now hear.
The rest of the world, they are still thinking this far, that we are in such a cacophony that they don't know if we can be able to run a state by ourselves. And a good lot of those in the leadership are not so well known in world circles. And so it was dangerous for our leaders to carry themselves to any first such meeting, because they were going to open themselves up for assessment. Open themselves up to assessment. You will be assessed. You will be weighed. And they will try to know, what strength do they represent? What do they know and don't know? What is their power base and all of those things? That is what the expert said we should avoid. Don't go by yourselves. Send representatives. And especially, if you go by yourselves, and because you are the final authorities, you may be forced to find yourself on the spot making a decision. And it is not advisable for you to go and on the spot and make a decision without consultations, without having the time to talk to experts across the board, without having the possibility to weigh every option and have a veritable...
When I hear the expert advice tell them, when I need to make consultation across the board with all the other leaders, when I need to consult everybody. And leader, they're not supposed to go for these pre-talks, for this capacity building. Because, why? Why? Because now a moment where you go open yourself for assessment, they go assess when the leader them. They go weigh una, they go find una strength. They go know una strong point them and the weak point them. When I feel say na how way Aijo be do manage no say Foncha go like woman. Say me them go for Fumba, me them bring fine girl, me they come meet up Foncha. When I feel say na why they be do am. Na how la Republic be do no. Now because say Foncha be dan go meet up them, expose himself for them without any technical advice. When I remember, even the United Nations be talk. Say before Southern Cameroon, they want to go negotiate with the Republic of Cameroon during the time of Jongo Foncha. They must give them experts them. The UN be talk say UN go give we expert. But Foncha no go ye one. He begin to meet up Aijo for back. They want even go for Fumban. Document the way they be done prepare them. Just the same way it happen now. One will be the talk say the one na Fumban number 2. When I not be believe. They want go for Fumban. Constitution where they began for Foncha, he hide them because he knows that constitution no fine. He knows that way we know we want them. Now for Fumba where the other people then go discover them, they force them made a signed document for day. How they be do know? Say they go bring fine woman, Foncha go start dance woman, head go do chakara. Because they be already see their weakness. If they already they meet up, these people then forget pre-talks with Aijo without technical advice, without the experts. So they be down way, they be down know a weak point. They be don't know a weak point. Our leader them not supposed to expose themselves in that manner. Everything now because they would not be staff with dignity and pride. So much should the leader the one just look good on camera. Say na me I be dede. Na me say na me I did na dan carry na say they carry skin. Where agbada they want go show it on agbada. They want go show it on cap. They know say na other way this leader them want them. They know if see past this primate ones of human being of trying to show off. Now say they assess them. Now say they will go take punch at them. Now why that way? We deny say no. We need expert advice. We need to shoot them down. Get expert advice. Me the technician. When I send technician, me them go for day. When I select the list of technical people, send them for day. Shield yourself for being assessed by the enemy. They will check when I strengthen them. They will know una. They will know una. They force them. They will make you bring una more and take decision for day. They will force them to make decision without talks, without even thinking, without consultation. When I hear to the expert advise them. That's in that way the expert that advise them for they don't hear. So now they get into pre-talks process without any consultation, without any preparation. They say they have a Fumban. And when I remember, I said that way they come up with Fumban. Even though they not be sign anything, just the fact that they be go for that Fumban conference, La Republic of Cameroon be then get that moral authority for take over Ambazonia. Even though they be adjoin the Fumban conference, say Fumban conference, it goes will have a future will go get them. That Fumban conference, they come up for they carry that conference go to for United Nations, announce for all man say we already talk with the people them. We already talk with the Sute, give them a shower. They don't oil their mouth. They don't already act. Then they together with we. If we here fight the goal, no say they already say we. Soldier them, General Efang, then they for down there, they fight the goal. They don't say they already say them. They don't say they already finish them. They don't compromise all thing. They don't put all thing for aside already. No correct. So, I'll go for the next thing. What's my other paper? They do on number 3. I'll try to do them fast because I need to come off here to go work. So, when I remember, Sako lie about the mandate. Say they done already first take mandate from La Republic of Cameroon. But in any case, make a match fire, I will go in front. I know if I get time.
Important issues. Number 1, the expert.
Okay.
Also for security reasons. I don't know the standing of all of you. Whereupon we were told that about 95% of those...
The expert them advise them. Say they must go talk me that HG or the Swiss, they call Switzerland government. Mbah Akuroh call Switzerland government, no, but not be Switzerland government actually. Now HG, now an NGO. So Switzerland government be just giving a word of mouth for them. Just like confirm them. We no document, no they deal now with NGO. That expert talks that NGO must go for La Republic of Cameroon. Go get their own mandate first. Because then now they be state partner where they be recognized by the United Nations as a country first. They need to sign for guarantee immunity for all my way go participate. Now the expert advisor will give them. None of that will be done the talk and be here for almost how many months. When I need to go get leverage where you go protect una from La Republic, you need to sign up a paper. Not be only word of mouth. Because La Republic of Cameroon, they don't get credible. They talk one thing today, do the other thing tomorrow. Expert then can't tell them the same thing. When I remember, I said Sakoran first can lie. People then the fee say would not suffer. Can't lie, say they get mandate from La Republic of Cameroon, say the age get mandate from La Republic of Cameroon. Why he go lie the people them? Why he go lie with the people? Talk say no be seen for sure and for social media. When that leader and system they don't ask the age then talk say they don't secure them. People they don't ask the Swiss that don't ambassador for Yaoundé, they don't talk say Paul Biya do talk now with mob. They never secure anything. Judge Iwane, when I the spokesperson for that dialogue for La Republic, talk to the same. Say they never engage in any mediation. In mediation process, they never mediate. He talk them straight. He talk them open because I think that way they don't present them for the international community. So Switzerland government, they insist now. Say me them bring now this so-called local government. People the way Sako Bidan already arrange them. Local government by local government, they are representative. Now we know why they be over insist about county by county. Now we know place where the county by county ultimately come from. Forget people the way they go can they represent those people them. Not because it go hell away, because the enemy they plan for use them in the future. For use naive, for undermine our our people the aspiration for use na undermine the leadership way it go be credible for present our thing for the right way we supposed to be presented. They look people the way they be already be vulnerable. All these people they be prone. This is what they call it na political scavenger them. Where they don't put us in now you be county head for year. Now you be county head for year. Now them way they plan for go use them. The only county head they won't know them. Now the one the way they be mash for Independence Day. Now the true people in that way they represent Ambazonia for ground zero. Now the true country head than that. They say me them bring 61 people for capacity building. They the one building for capacity building. Why? Where to be they use for capacity building? Now for prepare people for negotiation. So already they will represent those people them as people where they negotiate for on behalf of the struggle. Are they competent to do that? Are they competent? Are they credible enough to represent the revolution? I will come to that anyway. Now wait. I'll come to that. So listen to him. What he say?
Said in his 58-minute video or audio that is circulating right now, he said when the leaders got there and sat down for discussions and capacity building, they realized that they were completely empty, that they knew nothing about international mediation, international negotiations, and nothing. Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. This is a massive disgrace.
Yeah, this is a disgrace. This is for that building capacity with the HD. He come out talk say they don't know anything. This is admitted they don't know anything about negotiation. Anything. Now person that is stand for camera, they pretend like say they know, what it happen. He said they don't know anything about mediation. Wait till Ayabacho be talking before all the things start. All this expert advice where the game, now 2 ways I could be talking. That the same requirement way Mr. Lucas Ayabacho the talk. No, sorry, not I get a speech therapy, I get a speech handicap stuff. Sometimes I want to talk, and if you be able to pronounce certain words at certain times, depend on my emotions. So Dr. Ayabacho Lucas, now thing in this way he be done talk. He be competent because he be the CD thing them before when I even want to go for day. Their institution them, their advisors, their international partners already be done put all these things them in them. We as a leader, these are requirements where any leader be supposed to get them. They not be only need an expert advice for give them at that particular time, but they be supposed to then seek expert advice, gearing up to all these things. So I want me gonna hear why the Switzerland, the HDD insists for bring all these people. Gonna hear
fight and rule among us. That is why the Swiss are not putting the lines in some people's list that we have about 80% of the critical mass, 80% representation. 80%. Look at the various organizations that have signed on.
When I hear this part, when I hear very important point.
Of those 8, the Federation of Southern Cameroon's women organizations withdrew.
Yeah. Yet where ye system the talk. I know why use my own word than this today. Mbah Akuroh, the talk, say the Switzerland. Mbah Akuroh, the talk, say the Switzerland HD. They the one use divide and rule. They put into the people their mouth, those leaders their mouth for talk about percentage of leaders. The same Mbah Akuroh now the talk. The same logic will be the tell now. That way they be go gather for that from them by a team for America begin talking that them be the majority of leader them. Say you know the matter for inside revolution. Now you make the same point. Say na divide and rule tactics. Mbah Akuroh, ye una year.
Then when they went for the third meeting, they became 10. And they were signing act. Shortly after signing, the crowd already came up because Scope withdrew. Now look at a lot of the organizations that are even signed on. There are some that a lot of people in this struggle are hearing about them since the past 3 years for the first time.
So ye they make the point. Where will be the make and that will be see the Confederation of Ambazonian Women. Where will be presented by Sali Likowo. Will be talk say this is an organization where we not even know about them. How come you go there for inside that organization when they take and say now a negotiating partner. When I bring player them, when they for la Republic of Cameroon, their conduct and their speech, it shows that people really indict Ambazonia. We don't know their record, we don't know their track record for the past 3 years. We will make that point. Time we will be there for SC, time we will be make that fontaine by conference. Now, when I say the rango funa, because when I know be take the criticism as coming from a good place. When I be destroy, reject everybody because say maybe not because say when I be Joe, I don't know. As a matter of fact, I know I'm go for una intention. Man left that part aside. Man don't focus on on analysis of the content. Now you accept. Say group them will not even sabi them. Even the one for Dr. Bernadette for Germany Day. Now go look the website now. Just Dr. Bernadette, one person organization. It doesn't stand for them like a whole organization. They put an answer now how many now they be plenty, now they not be plenty. It don't matter the organization. Which way matter now competence and credibility. I'll put that one for my conclusion. Man, no mix them up because I don't get time. I'll go work small time. Morning time now already reach here. Chat time to go. So the Switzerland are using them now as a firewall because, as he said, Bo Herbert have already, Ambazonia, Bo Herbert have already, against all these experts, their advice. Against all these experts, their advice. Bo Herbert signed and gave a mandate to the HD to go and mediate between us and La Republic of Cameroon. I can talk about competency and capability and credibility in the first place later. Just for the sake for we to go forward, I do them very fast. So the Switzerland government, they use that document now for shield themselves and for come out for the international community. They work now from UN when I see they work go around the world for inform them. Say that the leader in this Ambazonia, they are already signed for we. Me no man no come again for can help them. No way when I don't come. They are already give we the mandate. When I hear two people then do. When I take when I hear.
Please were able to untwist their mandate from our brothers at that second visit. What did they do? They announced to the rest of the world that they have secured a mandate from both La Republic of Cameroon and the Southern Cameroon. This is what happened. The Swiss announced without going back to Yaoundé to report we have been able to meet those people. They have given us a mandate. This is the mandate, so can we have your own mandate? Because they have not had a written mandate from Yaoundé. Truth be told, from the Sako, truth be told, the Swiss don't have a written mandate. I say this with authority because I have that information.
The Swiss, they don't get written mandate.
Signed, sealed, delivered, and confirmed.
They don't get mandate, written mandate.
Today to tomorrow to the next day. The Swiss didn't go back.
Yeah.
When they hit to announce to the rest of the world that they had sealed the deal between the two parties because they wanted to wave off all other countries that were coming in.
So the Switzerland government, the HD, because they call them Switzerland government, we know even Switzerland government be involved. Now the HD get signature for Sako, Bo Herbert, Kumeta. I don't know about Bernadette, but I sure say Bernadette did for day, and they don't sign mandate for Guiam for HD. The HD no be even go back for La Republic because their intention no be don't always be for go back for La Republic. Their intention be being for create a firewall for protect and La Republic of Cameroon from pressure from the international community. And me no other neutral partner they no come inside. It will be their intention that. So once this leader them, then give that mandate for the HD. The HD no go back for La Republic of Cameroon for go ask mandate, written mandate. Then they'll take and run gonna for the UN them, the member country them for the UN, the member country them for the Security Council. Say, hey, the people that are already give you their mandate, move go negotiate. They are ready, they are engaged in the process. Without any leverage over La Republic of Cameroon whatsoever, because the intention is not to take leverage or not to make La Republic of Cameroon vulnerable in any negotiation table or in any process that will involve the international community because they are out to shield La Republic du Cameroon. They are out to protect them. Their only motive is to bring normalcy so that they can continue exploitation of our cocoa. That is their main motivation. That is their project. That is why the HD head will lie to Ambazonia people that they have secured a mandate from La Republic du Cameroon, when he knows very well that was a verbal and not binding statement made by mouth, word of mouth, that have already been retracted by also word of mouth. So when I hear, ma take una go for the ma take una mo match fire bikini go, mo no over delay.
Oversight, only Switzerland can officially invite that party to join. And we can only get Switzerland, invite that party to join if all of us come together, make a resolution and send to Switzerland that we will only continue with this deal if other parties come in. But unfortunately, this is where the Swedes have built a firewall around this possibility using our own very people. Exactly what La Republic of Cameroon is doing for us, is doing to us in Yaoundé. Using our own very people. They are transforming the leaders that have already signed onto that initiative into that firewall, making sure they don't accept this possibility.
You hear? They are using those leaders. They are using them against our restoration against our restoration movement. They are using them to shield that process from being fair in our own favor. They are using them. That is coming from Mbah Akuroh. They are using them to shield themselves and protect other countries to come in. So very critical thing that I have to say before I conclude. I have to round up. It's already getting morning here. Very important thing that I want to say before I conclude here. I want you to listen to this last audio to hear the master plan of all this thing. How they want to bring, I'm coming to Abdul Karim, don't worry. That will be in my closing statement. They want to bring all those listen, let me play the audio first.
Why is Switzerland inviting leaders of LGAs to Geneva? All 61 leaders of LGA.
They are inviting 61?
Are they going to be on the mediation table? Are they going to be negotiators? Why do they need to build their capacity? The reason they are inviting them is simple. The Swedes want to infiltrate us as much as possible in order to get as much information from us deep.
So inviting the so-called LGA, they are trying to infiltrate the revolution. They are trying to infiltrate us, create cracks, create multiple leadership so that they will destroy credibility in our struggle and a common platform. Mbah Akuroh went further and talked about his own proposal for a way forward. But I want to talk about two things here. First of all, look at what they have done. They have dragged Ambazonia people into this so-called Swiss thing without any protection at all, without any broad-based consultation at all. They have gotten Abdul Karim adopted because simple things that were advised by those experts, you must insist that these people go and get a mandate from La Republic of Cameroon, signing on to immunity to all participants in that dialogue. Be it wherever the dialogue will take place, they will be shielded, they will be protected. The international community can use that document as leverage to fight and bounce on La Republic of Cameroon in case anybody is assassinated or arrested, as the case of Abdul Karim. They failed to do all that. Against expert advice, they advised them leaders should not go there. They took upon themselves, wear their agbada and all those their things, and go there to Switzerland and go and give a mandate. So without getting into two more critiques, because I've already explained it in plain language, I don't talk about all man fit here. I will talk about the whole process, how it be flaw and which be the enemy, it tactics, how to use them for we. There are two things. Are those people who are representing us, Ambazonia? I'm not talking about the groups. Are they competent? Who should be able to be the one to sign on our behalf? It should be somebody who is competent. What is the definition of competent? Competent is the ability to do something successfully and efficiently. to negotiate. What do we need? Why do we need a competent leader? We need a competent leader to do what? To negotiate on our behalf. We need a competent leader to do what? To make decisions on our behalf. We need a competent leader to do what? To be efficient in giving us independence. Are all these leaders competent? They have proven by their own action in this Swiss deal that they are not competent. They are incompetent. They make themselves vulnerable. They allow themselves to be used by the enemy. They allow themselves to be used to protect La Republic of Cameroon and shield it. They allow themselves to be used to stop other countries from supporting the initiative for dialogue and negotiation with La Republic of Cameroon. They allow themselves to be used to shield La Republic of Cameroon from international pressure that we know was supposed to take place within the United Nations Security Council. They are not competent. They lack competence. They are not capable of representing Ambazonia. That is why, when you look how this revolution is being prosecuted, these leaders who were involved in these Swiss things were incapable of mounting the amount of mobilization that the Siseko Ayuktabi and Ayabacho have mounted. They were incapable and incompetent to raise the resistance on ground zero that have enabled us today to be able to say that we can dialogue, negotiate with La Republic of Cameroon. They are not competent and they are not credible to sign and represent us. When I always talk about credible, what do I mean by credible? What does it mean credible? So credible is the capacity, is to be able to be capable to significantly pursue the people that have been mobilized at home and abroad for Ambazonia rising. So who is a credible leader? Because for a leader to be able to represent us, you must be competent. That means you know the subject matter, you can make right decisions, you can preserve shield us from being used, being infiltrated. Second and most important, you must be credible representation of the struggle. What can make you credible? It is your capacity to significantly pursue the people that have been mobilized both home and abroad for the Ambazonia rising. Do you think Bo Herbert can influence us in diaspora to stop or influence Ground Zero to stop anything? If he cannot significantly influence the people that have been mobilized, then he is not credible to represent us. If he cannot significantly influence the fighting on Ground Zero to say the boys should drop arms or the boys should go here, deploy here or there, if he cannot do that, then he is not credible. He cannot go there to represent them. Credibility, credible leadership also is the leader have to be capable and has the command to influence the fighting on Ground Zero. You must have the capacity to command the forces, to tell the force, do this and they do this, do this and they do this. And then you can say that you are credible to represent them. You can say that you are credible to talk on behalf of the revolution. So not any type of person or any type of frontline leader can go and sign and give mandate. The mandate given by Bo Herbert, the only way to fix it is to tell the international community and the AG that it is void. It does not represent those who are fighting. It does not represent our quest for recognition. He doesn't have the capacity to significantly influence the mobilization of our people both in the diaspora and at home. So he's not capable of signing on our behalf. He's not capable of commanding and influencing those who have arms. The leaders who can command the most significant forces on the ground should be the ones who are credible to put their pen to give any mandate on behalf of Ambazonia's revolution for independence. So that signature have compromised our revolution. For us to go forward, I disagree with Mbah Akuroh's conclusion, which he said that for us to go forward, we have to do three things. To insist that there must be multi-mediation. I agree that there should be multi-mediation with more parties coming in. We have to crack the firewall that have been put in the international community against us by those people who have given that mandate. Because now with that document, that HD is using that document to shield La Republic of Cameroon and give the international community the information that these leaders have signed, and they have said that in that document they actually said that that HD is the only way for negotiation to go ahead. We need to destroy it completely and tell them that Bo Herbert does not represent Ambazonia. The guy from Kumeta does not represent Ambazonia. He also said that we need the best teams of experts, that they should select the best teams of experts and send them to Switzerland for any capacity building, and then those experts will come back and advise the leaders to take decision by consensus. I disagree with that idea, and I'll make a simple reason why. And I'll quote an example from a wisdom from Colonel Vela, who is a young person like myself. I know we come from a culture where, foolishly so, they don't respect wisdom because they consider people who are young as yes, Santos, they consider us who are young as people who are not credible enough for them. We don't deserve respect. We don't have big stomach and be a beer on for our chin. But I'm older than when Emmanuel Macron. I'm almost the same age like him when he became president. So I will advise you guys, the way forward, like Colonel Vela talk. When you go for cow, for cow, when you see cow, they go, or a sheep, they waka. One alpha cow, they always there for in front. One cow, they always there for before, and he get to another cow, the way they waka for back. When it goes so all they follow you. And that cow, this now you know the dynamic between their relationship with the Nganako. Now that cow, you know the dynamic relationship with the Nganako. If you get 1 or 2 Nganako them, even 4 Nganako, if you follow one group of cow. But now that big cow, they show it goes so all the other cow that they follow it for back. So other cow then doing that encourage them, they walk out to for back. All the cow that they follow, they go. Now the same way they will sheep them. So we not fit talk say we Ambazonia them. We not be as organized like cow. We not our organization not be better than the cows them or sheep them. Will be better than that. Not be say we support now one leader or not. It be based on credibility and competency. Seseko Ayoktabi and Ayabacho Lucas are the only 2 leaders who have significant influence in terms of the mobilization of an Ambazonia rising in diaspora and in home. If Seseko said that we should stop, or Ayabacho said that we should stop, or if all of these leaders they say that we should stop, who is going to have more influence on the people? Is Seseko and Ayaba. So they are the most influential. These are the 2 things that fight for us: the mobilization of our people and the war and the forces that have arms. When it comes to mobilization, I think Seseko have a little bit parity or even a little bit more bigger voices than Ayabacho. Because a lot of people, you take the polls, you see that maybe in terms of popularism, people will give him that they'll listen to him. So you have a significant influence. But when it comes to those who are actually fighting, which is the most important component in the foundations of this revolution, the fundamentals, is the fighting on the ground. Ayabacho is the supreme commander. He has the highest influence on those boys who are fighting. He has the highest amount of AK-47, the highest amount of trained troops. General Efang is the only general who is capable of being deployed. That means they command him and say, go to this area and do this thing. He goes there and he does it. There is no other force that is big as the ADF. Judging from international and not only Ambazonians, their own analysis, the guy who went on ground zero and inspected the force, he came out and said the ADF had about 2,000 forces that he has seen with his own eyes across the territory. We have seen on the National Day celebration, if we have to go by the things we know, you see that the ADF display how many battalions do they have? So Ayabacho is the most significant person. So the leaders who have to decide should be these leaders. They should lead the pack. Leader cannot just come and then they say, any man, they give your own opinion. Say me that, like Mbah Akuroh said, that we should make a group of experts. The experts should go and then give advice. Then all the leaders, they will take decision by consensus. I believe that we should have an institution where consensus can be built, but it should be led. The group should have a leader who is in front. Even cow them, then get leader. Even sheep them, get leader. it be for our advantage. Maybe we'll get one of the leader, the mean stand for front. Now, why the advocate say me will get a binding resolution, memorandum of understanding between Ayoktabi and Ayabacho Lucas. Then me bring the other one, the now for inside Mbah Akuroh. It don't show at least say get some flexibility, to be honest. And I got the Dinka, and then the other one, the Lakwanga, and this other one, them they will be disruptive because they go come for inside that group. They will talk to them plenty day for day, and then they bring their incompetency for the table. They go to bring their own selfish ambition where they don't put them. Sure, and say they clearly they get their own ambition. Then they be outweigh their ambition for fight for success, and then they represent we. It make them be compromised. Akwanga own for go begin the ask na money, so they must give him money. It make it be compromised. So it is true that even if you bring all the leaders together, I'm submitting to you that it will not work, because if the ones who are majority, like now you see most of the frontline leaders have already compromised to go to Switzerland, they will compromise the decision-making apparatus or mechanism. The consensus will not be fair for our people's aspiration, because the majority of them have demonstrated significant level of incompetence. That is why the best way forward is that we have a coalition with a leadership based on their capacity to influence the revolution, to fight for recognition, and to fight on the ground. So they should form that Restoration Council, being nominate Siseko like a figurehead over them all, and Ayabacho as the active head, because he is a free man and he is the revolution. He should be the revolutionary leader. We can count on his judgment, but we cannot rely on one man alone. He needs to make decisions that have been accepted by a consensus, and in case they have disagreement, he as a leader, together with Siseko, will have a greater say in those decision making, because they are the most competent. They have the most significant influence in mobilization and in terms of arms resistance. That is the most reasonable things to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow comrades, I've come to the end of my presentation. Thank all of you who have been online. I heard Mr. Tapang Ivan Tang, who is also online. I don't know, he should have seen me online and give me time to finish my presentation, but that is still fine. The digital footprint will be there for you guys to come back. Yes, Mr. Nicholas, they are the competent ones. They should lead us in negotiation, and they should be the ones to lead that group of leaders. I believe that all leaders should come in part. I'm not saying this because I support one of them and don't support the other one. Remember when I was calling for the unity that eventually led me and Lucas Ansu to fight and institute the Canada process with those patriots who came on board and they champion it and they bring it into life. Our advocacy was all for one for all. And we said that unless all of the leaders they are on board, we will not still accept it. Even if Ayabacho was to lead it and not all of them, one of them were left outside, we will still fight for it. Because we are fair people. We are practical people. And that was the position we take then, and that is the position I'm taking now. I woke up 3 o'clock. Ambazonia, if you're noting them, when I see rock paper them, by these 3 years, we won't finish this thing, so Ambazonia they need to give some of we PhD for all the research work, because only the research work we are doing here, reading books, we don't just come and give things, we do research. We do research and make sure that we consult. I consult with other associate activists and we listen to the frontline leaders. You don't just come and we discussing about the things that will affect the life of 8 million people with unborn Ambazonians, and you are just doing it by yourself. I thank people like John Dinka, who is also advising me, Papa Benjamin, and the ones that I cannot even call their names, who are big people who have been advising us, and they believe in our judgment and in the vision and what we bring in this struggle. So this Switzerland thing have to stop. We have to inform the HD that the people who have given them that mandate are not competent and are not credible representation of our revolution, and it has to be considered void. A new way forward have to come up, and our credible leadership have to engage. The Republic of Cameroon and the French government and those company multinationals who are exploiting our resources, their capability to go around contacting each and every one of us from behind should stop. Not by us, it will not stop by magic, but Ambazonia have to rise up and say that we reject anybody who participate in this manner is undermining our revolution. No activist should go there and be speaking on behalf of all Ambazonians when you are not competent of doing so. None of them. And the leaders must make sure. That's why I trust him, because when even the capacity building in Belgium came up, he told all the leaders, he give them, all of them, the opportunity. He said, all of you come together. This is what we have. That shows that he is doing it in good faith. He is competent. He is not inferior. He does not feel inferior to have the other leaders participate. He's not feeling like he wants to protect a partisanship. Otherwise, he will not allow them to come there. He said only the AGC people to go there, or the friends of the AGC. But he allowed them to go, and that is the way. Even according to Mbah Akuroh, that is the right way to do it. So thank you guys very much. Make we hold grass, we stand strong for ground zero, we insist for nothing but our full right in that inside international law, we give we independence, because we believe in justice and we believe that justice will prevail. The people who think that we cannot win because we are weak should understand that the slaves did not overcome because they were strong. The colonies did not have independence because they were the strongest people. They made it clear that they will resist forever, and they will not accept to be less than human beings by accepting concession that will compromise their human rights. When we stand our ground, even if the whole world is against us, we will prevail, because they will have to commit genocide practically before they will take that land. And in that case, they will have to stain their own conscience, which is not acceptable, and eventually they will come to the realization that we deserve what the international system had promised all the category B territories, which is the option of independence out of our self-determination. And we have expressed that already by the declaration of Seseko Ayoktabi in 2017, restoring our sovereignty and our independence. Thank you. May God bless you. May our revolution be short. May independence, democracy, civil liberty be in Ambazonia forevermore. God bless you.